welcome back to the Tabletop Tactician and Operation Castro's Paradise, U.S. Global, Turn 2.2. Before we get to our orders from the President, I want to do a little housekeeping from last turn. Captain G had a question on the Soviet IPP, and after talking with him and going through the rules, we're going to go ahead and add one IPP to take their total to 19 to reflect a miscount from turn 1 there. So let it show that the Soviets have 19 IPP on hand. And with that, we'll add that to their dashboard, and we will go ahead and get out our orders here. So we have fresh orders in on our desk. We will crack these open. So from the Office of the President of the United States, subject, CIA failures and Soviet randomizer technology. The CIA can no longer be trusted to align nations to our cause. The failure to align Chile and Venezuela will not go unnoticed. The KGB has been observed to be funding IPP to nations to align them. We must now align them with strength. Venezuela. Diplomacy has failed. Use all available forces to capture Venezuela and install a pro-U.S. regime. Atlantic Ocean. Continue with the buildup of naval forces in the region. CG-58, the USS Philippine Seas, has been assigned to your theater. We must stop all reports of a superior Soviet randomizer spreading throughout the world. We do not need another Sputnik incident. So thank you, Mr. President, and let's execute on the President's orders. So back over here to the map, and we will start with global operations, of which I will not be conducting any global operations. We did not have an insurgency take place, and I'm electing not to use my diplomacy die this turn. So with that, we will go to our U.S. purchases. So with our 22 IPP on hand, we will start the USS Philippine Sea here. And just so we have accuracy, CG-58. Start that for 5, and that will go on the build plate. We have a frigate for 3, 2 MBTs for 8, and a next-gen MBT for 6, and we will be building another cruise missile. Now to execute on the orders, Mr. President, get you all in frame here for the most part. So we will have our single infantry moving across the border here from French Guiana. We'll have from the carrier the attack bomber going 1, 2, and 3. We will have the air superiority fighter, also 1, 2, 3, into Venezuela. From Sao Paulo, we have our fighter going 1, 2. And same with the A-10, 1, 2. So I'm going to set us up on the battle board once again and bring you right back. All right, we got you all loaded here on the battle board. We have the fighter performing air superiority here from the Soviets, and then we have our air superiority fighter and our fighter there. So we have 2 versus 1 there, and we have the infantry A-10 attack bomber there as well. So how the air superiority combat will work here, should I fail to kill the measly Soviet fighter, it will then move over towards regular combat here as well. But we're going to get that killed with our superior randomizer technology, Captain G. So we're going to start with our our air superiority fighter with our gray die. We're looking here for a 5 or less. And can we see that? Let's come in closer. So that is an 11. So that will be a miss. We're going to stick with gray, new gray die, for the fighter at a 6. And Captain G, that will miss. We'll roll the defending Soviets with this red die here. So he is looking for a 6 or less, and no dice. So we'll go ahead and reflect that here. So we'll move that fighter over. Fighters can only participate in 1 round of air superiority combat. Okay, sorry, I paused y'all really quick. I wanted to seek some clarity on air superiority warfare. So thank you, Admiral Seabass. So the air superiority fighter, as long as it still has an eligible target, which assuming that we do not kill the Soviet fighter in normal combat here, would then be eligible to continue to fire air superiority every round. So we have already fired our fighter here. I went ahead and moved it over. I'm going to wait and do that until we're done with the turn. And they're done with our continuing attacking rolls there. And we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's get you back over here. And we have our light infantry at a 2. We'll go with this red die. Well, there's a 2 on the dice. Doesn't count. And we have our A10 at a 5 with a target select. That will be a 2. So we will target select the normal light infantry, leaving only the paramilitary now. And at a 7, this red die for the attack bomber. And that will hit as well. So there will be no more land units left there. So we'll go ahead and roll the Soviet defense. So, we'll keep you with red, Captain G. Red for that paramilitary at a 2. Man, maybe I should have done these diplomacy rolls. But this is, of course, the superior randomizer, Captain G. Let's go ahead and roll red die again, the 4 of the light infantry. And that will miss as well. All right, so that eliminates all land units, leaving only the fighter to duke it out. So we'll move those back on the board here. So we'll start with the, we'll go with this gray die for the air superiority fighter at a 5. Almost at a 6. We'll fire the light infantry. 5, that is a miss. The A10 at a 5. 12. And the fighter now firing in regular combat at a 6. It's a 3 that will hit, and we'll go ahead and roll that attack bomber, that will miss. So we did get that 1 hit. We'll keep with the red, Captain G. The 6 here is defending Soviets, and that is a 4. And that will leave me with a conundrum here. So we have 1 hit. Do we want the land zone, or do we want an aircraft? Let's see. If we don't take the land zone, there's only a port there. We have blockade because of the rules of sea zones in this scenario. Captain G would be unable to take that, but he would then collect the income. Dilemma. I'm going to go ahead and take it, and we will, we'll take it. We'll lose, man, Captain G, it's a tough one. Yeah, let's not take it, and we will lose our light infantry. So let me go ahead and get us back to the board here, and we will go to non-combat. All right, we're back here, so we will go ahead and move our air superiority fighter the same route, so 1, 2, 3 back onto the carrier. We will move the attack bomber the same route there as well, 1, 2, 3 back onto the carrier. And then our fighter and A10 will return 1, 2 back to our, Sao Paulo. We will then move, everybody. I will move out of Sao Paulo, our 3 light infantry, into the Amazonas. And we will move our SAM down for from the Amazonas as well, or from French Guiana to the Amazonas. We'll then use our sea lift of 1, 2 for that SAM into the Amazonas. Get you a better view there. There we are. And I believe that is all. So coming back to our build plate here. We will go ahead and add the 1 cruise missile to our dashboard. The frigate for 3 will join the Navy here in a 43. We'll probably get that on camera. We will add the Philippine Sea here at 5 to our build chart, which I'll have to get out, so we'll reflect that this is on the build chart. I didn't pull that out of my kit, so let me get that pulled out. The next gen MBT, so we have a minor army base up here in French Guiana. However, we cannot build a next gen MBT in a minor army base. It can only be built in a major. So it will join forces here in Sao Paulo. Then our 2 MBTs will be built, and I will chip those out, up in French Guiana. So that will reflect our placement of units there. So we have collect income now. So the US will have here, make sure we can see everything. The US starts with a base of 5, and we did not, excuse me, take any land zones, so we will have 5 on our base there. Then we will have a 17 standard bonus. So then 17 here, standard bonus. And I believe that is it. Our oil tanker is still there. Panama is not enemy possessed. So that will take us to 22. Same as last turn. I believe last turn I misspoke and said 23. We are in fact at 22. So we will add that to the dashboard, and we'll send it off to Captain G for turn 3.1. This has been Castro's Paradise and the Tabletop Tactician.